right. Welcome to Coffee and Tea with Aeson and Tracy tonight, because of course it's the first Thursday of the month.
Yay,
How
it's
are
November.
you?
I'm good. How have you been?
Good. I've been looking so forward to having coffee with you.
Well, thank you. Same here.
So
I
your
know.
side hustle is an interesting side hustle.
What's that?
Your side hustle is an interesting side hustle.
My lunch lady hustle, you mean?
Yes, your side hustle.
Yes. I am
Yeah.
back to that side hustle. It's been 2 weeks. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So I have a question for you. I'm hearing reports in of lunches that I am like deplorable.
deplorable.
Yes. So the menu says they were having pizza with fresh salad and fruit cup.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. According to the student, they received a slice of a top of a hamburger bun with a little bit of ketchup and mozzarella cheese and two pieces of pepperoni. They received a small thing of corn and some saltine crackers and a carton of milk.
Oh, hell no. What school district's doing that?
Well, it's not your school district, but it's Fayette County, West Virginia.
Oh.
That was their hot lunch, and I'm like, there is no way that is HDA compliant.
No, no, I don't get it because we get and not just like our school district, but like all of them, it's mostly government funded.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean,
The
we
same
get
food.
plenty of things that you don't need to put a pizza on hamburger bun and
Yeah.
use ketchup for sauce.
Yeah. And like these little, like the kids here were horrified because, and unfortunately, I went to Kroger's that day. This is granted, this is probably the first part of the school year, first day of school, second day of school, anyhow. And literally, everyone is out there shopping for lunch items for their children and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I've got to ask Tracy, what the hell is up with our school district? Because she's under the same program.
I don't know what the hell's up with your school district. Only thing I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt.
Uh huh.
Maybe, just maybe, their orders didn't come in yet, being that it's the
Okay.
beginning of the school year,
Uh
and they
huh.
just had to do what they had to do
Okay. Well, what
and make do
should
with what
be
they
going
have.
into a
That's
kid's lunch?
what should be.
Yes.
They have to have a fruit, so many servings type of thing, like a
Right.
fruit and a vegetable. Like, for instance, today we had sloppy joes and baked beans.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, they get their sloppy joe, they get their baked beans. So that counts because they have their wheat bun
Uh huh.
and they get their meat, on the sloppy
Mm-hmm.
joe, and then the baked beans is a vegetable. But then we have the additional that they
Mm-hmm.
can choose from. There's a
Okay.
selection of fresh fruits and there's a selection of fresh vegetables.
Okay.
So they get to take two of each.
You're
So if
right.
they take two more fruits and two more vegetables, that gives them their full servings. And then they
Cool.
have to take a milk,
Yeah.
unless, of course, they have a doctor's note if they have milk allergies and whatnot. And that's a whole nother
Ball game. Yeah, but no,
listen.
what is the right? Because I had a parent struggling with this, and I struggle with it a good bit. What is the right amount of food to go into a sack lunch?
Well, I mean, of course, it changes as you get, with age. You
Right.
know, little ones don't need a lot, but then from at like preteen to teen years to adolescence,
Mm-hmm.
they need more. But then when you
Right.
get to our age, you scale back down to we're supposed to scale back down to what the 5-year-olds are eating.
Yeah, well, that's insane, but cute. So, because we got a lot of first moms in school. When I mean that is their children are in school and they're packing the first lunches because apparently, I hate to say this, many school districts are having problems providing a eatable lunch.
That's
You
a
know,
shame.
half a sandwich, piece of fruit. granola bar.
If your kid isn't picky, there's
Uh huh.
all there's lots of cool stuff you can do. Like my granddaughter, I know my daughter's struggling right now because she's picky. So
Mm-hmm.
it really limits what she can do with lunch. But like if your kid isn't picky and like nutrition, like any kind of like flatbread, do like wraps, like turkey lunch meat, chicken
Mm-hmm.
lunch meat, or cheese, some lettuce in there. Do a wrap, make it fun. Or you can do sandwiches. Like for my daughters, I used to get cookie cutters and I'd
Mm-hmm.
make a sandwich, but I would cut it into like the shape of a star or
Mm-hmm.
a heart or a dog or a kitty or whatever, and,
Mm-hmm.
like, make it fun for them.
Right.
And
Yeah.
things are pretty convenient now too, like the fruit cups that are all ready to go, and
But that has extra sugar and crap in them.
it does, but, you
Quick
know,
and easy. Quick and easy. I know. I know. You
I mean,
know.
we
But
have them in our line to pick from, the sugar.
really.
Yeah, but we do watch it because
Right.
we so they don't take too much of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same way we have a free breakfast program. So
Uh-huh.
we have to watch sugar, and man, breakfast is hard to do and
Yeah.
watch him sugar. It's hard.
It is. It is terrible. I don't do, I have a lovely breakfast routine I've had for 20 years and I love it. It is a slim fast shake from the powder with the 2% milk and a teaspoon of peanut butter and some ice. It does me good for hours. I can process that and it's happy. Um, but for kids, it's like, you know, it's difficult. You can pre-make pancakes and stick them in the freezer and zap them in the microwave. Now they've got them on sticks and little breakfast burritos you can pre-make up.
I
Or
don't like I said, I
cereal.
feel for him because I'm not a fan of processed foods.
Yeah.
I'm
How
not
much
saying
of
I
that is
don't eat
really
them.
right? I'm not a fan either, but how much is that really going into the lunch program now?
More than 50-50. I can't lie.
Well, it's not.
But
You're feeding almost 300 children, and you're gonna have to process something. I mean, the days of making
and
homemade biscuits is over with.
here's the thing though. Back in the day when we were in school, them
Mm-hmm.
lunch ladies, and I know Joe can hop in and he can speak up for this, because his grandma was a lunch lady. They were in there making that dough, making them biscuits. All that stuff was made from scratch.
Making those
We
rolls.
still we still have the equipment to do that, but
Uh
we
huh.
don't have the staff to do it.
Yeah. Well, you recently had to step up and take a bigger role than lunch lady. You're now manager lunch lady. So you get the
Yeah,
big ladle and the wooden ruler.
I'm in a different position where I'm a lot with the food allergies and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a
Yeah.
little bit of pressure. You
Yeah.
got to make sure these kids don't eat something that's going to make them really
Mm-hmm.
sick or
Yeah.
wind up in the hospital. Like we had a new student the other day. She come in, not that we're, serving up the shellfish, but she has a
Uh-huh.
seafood allergy. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
That's terrifying. Anaphylaxis is nothing to play with.
Right.
And
And
when they
are the
said
school systems ready to handle anaphylaxis? I mean, because, for a long time now, it's been an egg allergy going on. It's a peanut allergy. It's a shellfish allergy. Or a little Joe. I almost killed him the first 2 weeks of our relationship.
and how so?
Okay. He has an aloe allergy.
Who the hell's allergic to aloe? Come
Joe's
on,
allergic to
Joe.
aloe.
Only
Okay.
Joe.
Uh huh. So apparently, my Slim Fast drinks have powdered aloe in them.
I've seen that on food labels. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to be very. I had to start reading the labels because lactose, no problem. We'll get you the almond milk. We get this one. We get that one. Um, you know, I'm used to making substitutes. Oh, you don't do onion, you don't do this, no problem. Dehydrate that, dehydrate this. But I never thought that aloe was in my drinks.
No, I wouldn't think of it either, but now that you've mentioned it, I have seen it on food labels, but because of my job, I'm a big food label. I
Mm-hmm.
have to read
Reader.
everything, and I have
Uh-huh.
seen it, and I'm like, "Oh, that's weird," but it's there. So, did he ingest it, or can he not even be around it, like the
No, he
powder, like
ingested it. He drank it for 3 days straight.
oh,
He
good
got tore
times.
up. Oh, he got tore up.
So, was he, like, living in the bathroom? Not
Uh-huh.
to give too much not to do
Not
TMI, but
too graphically, but yep, he was. And he was itching and red and his tongue was red. And I'm like, what the hell are you allergic to? I'm only allergic to rubber and aloe. And I'm like, well, I guess we need to go read a food container. But we also have to watch
rubber
him because, a lot of restaurants use peanut oil.
yeah,
Stabilizer for peanut oil at high temperatures is aloe.
hello. Yeah,
Yeah.
the stuff you gotta think about, right?
Yeah, the stuff you've got to think about, the stuff you've got to look at. And it's because it's one of those non-normal allergies. It isn't posted. You get postings all the time. This restaurant uses peanut oil. This restaurant uses eggs. Your food may be contaminated by this and this because it's cooked in the same area. No one thinks about aloe being a stabilizer. Leanne, honey, we
No.
need a birthday.
Oh, we got a question coming up?
We got a question coming up after we get a birthday. Otherwise, we can't do it, guys. That's the whole thing. We got to keep our lawyer happy.
Yes.
Yeah. And that gets even more trickier by the day. However, you're doing something really amazing. Saw the postings of it hit my Facebook. Of course, it's Tracy's birthday month, so everyone say happy birthday to Tracy. She's
Thank
getting
you,
going
thank you.
a little
Yes,
bit better.
it is Virgo season,
Uh,
and for my birthday month, I am doing 15-minute readings on my website, tracyvann.com for 20 bucks.
mhm,
And those proceeds go to a very close rescue of mine that I work with and help foster with.
mhm.
M. Soroka's Angel Rescue. That money's going to go to her and to us because I work with her
All
to
right.
help the kids.
Yes, the kitties and the kittens. You got a page from me about the kittens here recently because, of course, Aeson has two kittens. And it's
I
like,
meant to
what
ask
do we do with this?
I'm on vacation and Ace and Joe are texting me, Mama and kittens. Help, help, help. Mama was moving them all around the house and,
It was
kind of
very,
acting a fool.
very acting a fool. And she's done this here lately. We didn't page you out for this one. But she has decided that apparently one of her children has to be looked at continuously. So she carries it with her.
She just doesn't trust you and Joe or what?
She gets very dissatisfied with this kitten. Like, I think the kitten's going to be a hellion. Anyone that gets the
Um,
sock looking tabby kitten's going to be a hellion, and she ain't having it. It's like, oh, I'm carrying you around with me. She picks him up, carries him to the dining room. Granted, he's just 3 weeks old, but she is packing that cat around like it is her purse.
she is keeping an eye on him.
Uh huh. A very big eye on him. So it
She's
will
doing
be.
better with feeding the both of them, though. Because
Oh,
wasn't
she's
she
doing
not feeding
wonderful.
one?
This is the one that she wasn't feeding. She was trying to move him around and move everyone else around, and it was like, oh, come on, mama. Now knock that off. Put the cat back in the basket. For God's sake, put the cat back in the basket. And she
I,
didn't like this basket, so she had to move it to that basket. She didn't like that basket, so she had to move it to this one.
Cats are weird. You can give them, I've seen people give them the nicest setups, even
Mm-hmm.
when they're delivering, the nicest setup they can have, for her mom and the babies, all the blankets, all the pillows, all the comfort they could have. And she'll move them to like pile of cardboard boxes in the basement.
Uh-huh.
Like the, like the most uncomfortable, weirdest spot. Like they just, I don't know what they're thinking, what goes through their minds.
Mm-hmm. I don't get it. I've never gotten it. And this is only Aeson's second litter. I don't normally have kittens. I prefer the older senior cats that come to me pre-litter box trained, pre-organized, have at least an idea of what they're going to do and an attitude. These two, we will see. So far, so good, everyone. So far, so good. Just one apparently is going to be a purse kitty.
And senior cats, I must say, I applaud you. They need homes. The kittens go like that. Everybody wants a kitten.
Mm-hmm.
And the seniors always tend to get overlooked. And so thank you for looking at the seniors and taking them
See,
in.
I prefer a senior, and here is why. I want a cat that can come into my home, do their job, know where the shit goes, puts up with the shit, decides where their litter box is, what food they want. They have a clear opinion. I don't have to worry about influencing them to doing the right thing or being the right type of kitten. They just do it. They
Right.
just
They just
change
do.
behavior. And granted, we get less years. Although I had one that lasted me 22 years. We know of 22 years. I swear my father had vampire animals because, of course, his dog is now 23.
Oh,
Pomeranian being 23 years old with three teeth and still looks at you like, where's my Vienna sausages and crackers, you moron? You're late.
yeah, that's old for a dog and still got his attitude.
Oh, yes, he still has her attitude, but his cat, Cece, who passed a year after he left, we know of her for at least 23 years. It is possible that cat was older because when we got her, she had already been abused and declawed. Um, which I'm sorry, that is abuse. It is neglect and abuse. I don't care if you do not know how to put tinfoil on the base of your furniture so they don't claw it, and you do not cannot provide them with a place to scratch. You do not go through and have their nails broke.
The tinfoil trick usually does work to keep kitties
Mm-hmm.
from clawing,
Mm-hmm.
unless you're a weirdo like my Sid and tries to eat the tinfoil.
Well, that happens now. That
Once in a while you get a
definitely happens.
weirdo,
Yeah.
but he's good. My cats, they got their scratchers, they got their towers,
Mm-hmm.
and trimming their nails helps too. If you
It
just
does.
trim them, and if you're afraid to trim them, you can take them to the vet to trim them. You can take them to a groomer to trim them. Because I don't
Right.
trim my own nails because I'm scared. I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to go too far down. It's
Right.
like $5 to $8 for a nail trim. It's nothing. And that
Exactly. And it's
they
normally the only reason they're doing that is if they're anxiety.
yeah, and they really don't tear shit up when their nails are trimmed.
Right. Now, if
They
they've got a
don't.
level of anxiety, oh, they'll tear up shit. But that's a good indicator when something's wrong in the household because the cat will recognize it before the dogs and cats recognize it before the humans do.
My one cat, Boo, we call him Ghostbuster.
Mm-hmm.
He knows when spirits around before I do,
Right.
and he picks it up like that. The other two are like oblivious.
Yeah.
But Boo, he is so sensitive, and I see how what he's doing, and then I like kind of tune in, but he knows when something's passing through before I even pick it up.
Right.
But he's on all the time. You know what I mean? We can't
Right.
be on all the time and looking for it all the time. My
Mm-hmm.
God, you got to turn it off sometimes. Where I
Uh-huh.
think with like animals, they're always on. Boo's
Mhm.
always on. I said, Boo's always working. He never
Oh, yeah.
stops.
Never stops. You got to figure out where things are, what to do with them.
But when I see him acting like he got these certain things he does, and I'm like, okay, who's here, buddy?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, every time.
Yeah. And it's one thing at a time. It's one section at a time. Sometimes it's one, paying attention to your animals. Remember, they are important. My little gizmo, I'll call him little because he's at my knee most of the time. He's very picky. He's that Australian Shepherd picky, and it takes him a while to get used to something.
He don't like change, huh?
No, does not like it. Um, we started. I started using him in um, giving him the cogs. He loves those to death.
What are they?
They're cogs. There's these little red plastic things that you stuff with food.
Oh, like a puzzle
Yeah,
and they get their treat? Oh, okay.
yeah. I stuff it with food, and he just has a ball with it.
That keeps him busy,
Yes, it does.
keeps him
It keeps him.
stimulated.
Yeah.
I recommended that to they have them for cats too, actually. Uh, Probably about 7, 8 months ago, I had a
Mm-hmm.
foster and she got adopted. And the fella called me one day and he was like, she keeps throwing up after she eats. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
well, she never did that with me. And I'm thinking, and that's when
Mm-hmm.
Aeson and I get to use the extra special senses. And I sat there a minute and I'm like, dude, you're overfeeding her.
Uh-huh.
He's like, "You think?" I said, "Yeah, you're giving her too much to eat." I said, "And she's gobbling it down." He said, "She does gobble." I said,
Uh-huh.
"Yeah, she does have a tendency to gobble." I said, and I recommended for cats, they have these like kind of
Matt.
like a plate. Yeah, like a puzzle plate mat. And I
Uh-huh.
said, "Why don't give that a try? Go on Chewy." And I love Chewy.com. Plug for
Mm-hmm.
Chewy. And I said, "Give that a try." This is about a week and a half later. He texted me and he said, "Hey," he said, "she that keeps her busy and she likes it." And he said, "I cut back on the food before the mat come in." And he said, "No, no more getting sick. She's good."
Good, good. Yeah, because you have, with them, you need to feed them twice a day. You also need to have plenty of water available and plenty of toys for them to play with. Don't care a dog or cat, but you got to work with them more often, and that's the harder thing.
Especially with dogs, they need their I never really had dogs. We had them as kids, like, when I was a kid growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So, I never had them, but I do know it's important to get dogs toys and things to chew on, because
Mm-hmm.
if you don't give them stuff to chew on, they're gonna find stuff to chew, and you
Yes,
can't get mad at them if they eat your table legs if they don't have anything
to chew
to
on.
occupy them, right, while you're at work or whatever.
Right, you get them a big basket of toys. Don't get attached to the toys. Puppies will tear up. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. They will say chew proof bullshit. Hand it to my gizmo. We will test that shoe proof in 2 days. And you got to give them, if you got a dog that has a brain, and there's a lot of them that do, you got to give them toys that stimulate that mind. That's why I like the cogs. We've moved over. I'm moving over to feeding him by cog because one, it slows down his eating. Two, it burns off his energy while he's eating. And three, it's a lot easier to just toss him a cog and then because we have auto feeders and that just ain't working for him. He will clear an auto feeder in a day
So
and they don't
overeat.
have that scent. Yeah, and get sick. Yeah, Madeline says that her puppies need to slow down, slow feed, needed the slow feeder bowl, or they get sick. Try the cogs. You just put the food in there with a little bit of water, a teaspoon of peanut butter, throw it out there, stick it in the freezer so that it's like a popsicle for them, so it's a treat, and it takes them a while to work at it.
And that'd be great for, like, an energetic puppy.
Mm-hmm.
Give him something to do, keep him busy for a while, you know?
Right, and if he's super chewer, which I didn't know was a term till lately, super chewers need the blacker ones. Yep. All right. So what else have you been up to?
Oh boy, let me think. Just like I said, just getting in the groove of getting back to the side hustle, and it's new, it's something different. Still learning stuff, and yeah, just getting back.
Uh huh. So what's been your fun moment?
The fun moment, probably the other day when this little girl come up for extras. And
Okay. Little girl came up for extras when she gets back.
we still there?
Now we are. Little girl came up for extras.
Yeah, and she says, I pull up, she has money in her account. I'm like, it's all good. You got money in your account. And she's insisting. I'm like, okay, piles of pennies.
Oh, goodness.
I'm like, little girl, you got money in your account. Like, you don't got to use, insist. So there I am, 100 kids deep in line counting pennies.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. But
There's
still,
that's good moments.
yeah, but those pennies add up to dollars. She's already learning financial control.
Yeah, and she did not give a shit. I'm like, you got enough money in your account to get whatever you want. No, you're going to put these pennies in my account. I'm
Uh-huh.
like,
Well,
just
let's take a quick new break. Let's take a look at something new here that we've got for us.
all right.
Do you have a cute pet? We know you do. Each week, Tracy Vann chooses from submitted photos a featured reader for her Facebook page and provides a tarot reading. Your adorable pet cat, dog, rabbit, goat, chicken, snake, or more could be her next featured reader. Visit tracyvann.com, TracyVann.com, and click Featured Reader to submit. We look forward to seeing your pet next.
So yeah, you've got a new. Well, it's not a new feature. It's a feature that's new to the network. Is the featured reader category with the pets. Yeah, so that'll be fun. I'm sure you have a lot of fun with that.
I do. And you know what? I get a lot of feedback from people. Like they'll just message me on Facebook or text me or whatever. They love it. They like look forward. I've had so many people say, yeah, when I get up in the morning before work, I get
Mm-hmm.
on your site, look at the daily card pool, and I don't care. It's all good. A lot of them are like, I just want to see the pets. They don't
Yeah.
give a shit what the card pool is. Okay? They want to see the pets, but how it works. Like Aeson, if you were to send me a picture of Gizmo, I put
Uh-huh.
Gizmo's picture up there, and I do a daily card pull every morning. So I pull that
He'd
card,
pull
and
the tower.
what's that? I
He'd
would pull
pull
the
the
tower.
tower. Yeah,
I
we
just
know
put
the
that
Gizmo
energy.
too well.
I just put that energy out there that that's your personal pull for the day. Reads kind of like a horoscope, I guess you could say. And I pull
Uh-huh.
that card, and that's your personal daily card pull for the day. And Gizmo gets his 15 seconds of fame, and
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
love it. And that's what I tell people. It's kind of like a free little daily mini reading. So, like, all you have to do is send in a picture of your pet, and you can get a card pull
And
for the
it's a
day.
general reading for everybody. It's not to
Yes,
be imprinted as someone's specific life.
right.
Um,
But
no,
I
I
do
think
think of that person when I do it. But yeah,
uh,
they're just yeah,
yeah.
are a lot of fun. And a lot of people will text me and comment even on the post that it's resonating with them that day. And
Mhm,
I just like it. I enjoy doing it, and
mhm,
I love the feedback it gets, and
mhm.
just
Well,
fun.
the baristas met last night, so we've got some business to take,
I
some
know I missed
housekeeping
it.
to do. It's okay. It was a really good show. You can watch the replay of it. But shows will be moving unless I have a guest that cannot do the 8 o'clock hour. All shows will be moving to 8 o'clock. And we're going to break up after this week because I've got to go and repackage things. Our breaks, we'll be taking breaks about every 15 to 30 minutes so that it's easier to get in there and it doesn't drown you guys out and drown us out to where it's like, okay, they've gone on break for 3 days now. What? So, yeah. So we'll be taking breaks more often to give our hosts some time to recharge, grab a fresh cup. You also, watchers, you can join our baristas. You can go and do that at pcspnetwork.com. But if you just want to buy us refills of coffee, you can always do that by using the station's Venmo or Cash App. And that's for all shows. And that does pay for the coffee that's over to the left and the tea that's over to the right. But we don't charge for readings. We do take questions. We do require birth dates. That isn't for your psychic. That is for your lawyer. Because in where we broadcast it of, it is one of the laws you have to be over the age of 18. That's the fun bullshit.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. But no, we love our baristas. They help us make decisions and program hosting, like Psychic the Plans. They love Psychic the Plans, and it's time for everyone to sit down on Sundays normally and program things out. So other programming notes, Mountain Bears will be on this week on Saturday. And we will see about Psychic the Plans. Because there's some weekends that I'm going to be away at events because we got Pagan Pride coming up next weekend.
Yes, we do.
Yes,
We're all
I
going
get
to
to
be
have
there.
all the hosts are going to be there, so I'm going to try to get a picture with everyone in it for everyone to see.
All the hosts will make it.
All the
I
hosts
don't
will
know
make it, I believe.
Okay, I don't know if I knew that. Cool. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it'll be, West Virginia Psychics, I do believe, will be there. So that will be fun. So that'll be all pulling itself up. It will be really cool for things to be occurring and for things to be happening that way. And
It'll be a
then
great event.
it'll be a great event. It'll be a fun event.
Yes.
Yeah, but no, welcome to the 1st of September. If you didn't see your energy overviews, you need to go back and check that. That's on the stream. I haven't cut them up yet. They will be cut up and posted out soon, probably today or tomorrow, but I'm going to start doing those live the last Saturday of the month. I used to do those by single video, and I'm enjoying the live platform better, so we're going to be doing more live stuff. But no, it's fun. It's been fun for me. I feel like I've been living in third world country, West Virginia. First, we had a problem with water. Then we had a problem with the power. Today, we had a problem with the cell phones.
Well, shit, something every day.
I'm telling you, luckily I don't have gas service right now. We'd have a problem with it tomorrow. It's like they're taking turns.
Don't speak things into existence now. What happened?
Oh,
What was going on with the water? I knew about the power outage the other day.
The water, the main line going into the city to supply the area with water, broke. Like it was shooting up out of the ground like a geyser. I'm
The
like,
whole
oh,
ass main line.
yeah. And I get a lovely text message. Water pressure may be down and low throughout the next week as we do the repairs. And I'm like, I live in bumfucked Egypt, and we are having problems that even Egyptians do not have to take care of. Granted, we are blessed. We are not like that poor city in Mississippi that has no water.
Yeah, it could be worse. Things could always be worse for sure.
We don't live in Flint, Michigan, where the water is still unsafe, although I debate the safety of our water.
I debate the safety about a lot of things, but
Now, you live in the hills there, honey. Do you have well water or do you have real water?
I have real water. Most of this area does. However, there is an area, and I'm going to explain this the best I can. My husband told me about this, and I had to see it to believe it because I could not believe this was happening. It's not even 7-8 miles from here. People run out of water in this particular valley. Like, how you run out of water? What do you mean your buddy had to go get his truck and get water? I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And they can't even have wells.
Right.
They have to go get a truck and get, I don't know, tanks. Yeah. Yeah, that still happens here.
Yeah, it does. I'll guarantee you, if we don't get rain in the middle of July through August, you can't even get a bottle of one bottle of water at Walmart because we have a lot of well people still. I wish I had a well. It would be more dependable than West Virginia water.
Wow. My grandmother had well water. It was gross.
Oh, why?
Yeah. Well, when you'd go to get like a glass of water, because back there wasn't bottled water in
Right.
the 70s, and I'd go to the tap and get a drink and then I'd forget. I'd be like, shit, and it just got that taste. I don't
Which
even know if we should have been drinking it from the tap, but
well, you probably should have had what we call a golly, which is like a water bucket.
yeah, she didn't have that. She just handed you a bottle of Pepsi.
Ah, yeah.
The
See, my
glass
grandmother had
returnable
a well. We
bottles?
had what we called the golly, and it was this crock with a spout at the bottom, and you would pour the water in the top, and it would sift through. I don't know what all it sifted through, but it sifted through everything, and the water came out so sweet and so desirable, and so like real water has a sweet taste to it. The city water we got doesn't have a sweet taste to it. I have been doing this thing where I do 4 of these a day of water to try to boost my hydration, and we have to boil our water, our tap water. And for me to drink this amount of water, we have to boil it because it doesn't have that sweet taste. And I'm about ready to go. I know where the well is. I'm about ready to go down the homestead and just start filling up jugs and bringing them up.
I know Mila, when my youngest daughter went back to
Uh huh.
WVU, and
Uh
so
huh.
she's back at her apartment now in WVU, and she's a senior this year, but her freshman year, she wanted me to get her one of those Brita water pitchers,
Uh huh.
and because she says like you don't be drinking Morgantown water.
Right.
She puts it in her water pitcher and like she's just always talking stuff on Morgantown water and
Mm-hmm. It's
like the
terrible.
ring, yeah, the ring it puts on her shower curtain she shows me
Uh,
and
yeah. Tell her if she sprays that down. If she gets one of those, if she gets a bottle and fills it with vinegar and sprays it down after she gets done using the shower, like a daily shower spray, it won't
Mhm.
do that.
Okay, I will let her know
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It's because there's too much fluoride and bleach in her water that it actually will build a fungus.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
She's at
Oh.
the big Pitt WVU football game tonight.
Oh.
Big
How
rivalry
interesting.
game.
Please
Yes.
tell me you didn't take couches down for her.
I did not, but I'm not saying they're not there.
Okay. I don't know if you saw that sticker. I started to send it to you and go, now just was this the what that poor car looked like going down to Morgantown?
I know what you're talking about because I sent that meme to her. I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Oh.
But they're in Pittsburgh at the game, and
Uh-huh.
I texted her this morning and I said, "Have fun. Please don't get arrested."
Yeah,
Those games they get crazy. They get crazy.
backyard brawl does get crazy. I don't think it gets as crazy as the Bluefield versus Princeton game down here, where they do tailgate and you get piped into tailgate. Have to go to Bluefield, Virginia. You drive down to Bluefield, West Virginia. They put you on a bus and take you across state lines to tailgate for a high school football game. No lie.
Wow.
And they wonder why, in West Virginia, if you're looking for a couch, you won't find one during football season, especially around Morgantown, because all the seniors have collected them.
They spent all year, all summer collecting couches.
Uh-huh. And hauling them in.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. You
I'm
know,
I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss it when she's done with her college years. I
right.
like it though. I like WVU. I like Morgantown. I do. I'm really
Well,
happy that that's where she chose to go.
yeah, I am too. I'm very glad that she's a mountaineer. Unfortunately, I went to WVU Tech when it was a real tech that's no longer in existence. WVU bought it, took its teachers, its funding, and then abandoned Montgomery. Um, so it is what it is, but it's kind of weird. Even my college is dead. Is any of your schools still alive, or have they all died too?
They're not dead. Just a name change, which
Ah,
I can't stand.
okay.
California University of PA
Uh huh.
is now Penn West.
Okay.
Yeah, Penn West. That sounds like a penitentiary.
It does. It sounds like a
I
wing in the penitentiary.
Yes. As soon as they said that name, I'm like, what the hell? They
Uh huh.
merged with other schools. They merged with Edinburgh, and I forget
Uh
what other one, and Penn West. And I'm like, what? It sounds like a prison.
huh. It does.
It really
It
does.
does.
It gives me prison vibes. I just every time I hear that name, I'm just like, you know.
Yeah. So you went to California University of Pennsylvania.
And I also went to it's in Uniontown, PA, which is closer to Morgantown, Laurel Business Institute.
Uh huh.
And that's a tech school.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. But no, my elementary school is closed. My two elementary schools, because we had a K elementary called that was just kindergarten and first grade. It was a 3-room schoolhouse. They had first grade, kindergarten, and a lunch area, gym area in one. It's closed. It's now a recreational center for a church. My real elementary school is now a storage building. My middle school is now abandoned. My high school is now no longer the same high school. It has been took over and merged, and I think it's now a middle school or a child. Anyway, it now looks like a penitentiary for children, and my college is dead.
My elementary school is still standing but empty.
Uh huh.
It's nothing. The middle school I attended is tore down.
Uh huh.
It's gone. Those schools were pretty ancient when I went there. And so the school district where I went all my life and now work at, we have like a complex where the high school, middle school, which I think most
Right. I
areas
call them
in
children penitentiaries because if you look at the design, it looks like a damn pen. They got a 10-foot fence around it. It's all made into little block pods. There's no style or design to it. Very little windows.
Oh, see, ours isn't like that at all. We do have it's a kind of a campusy vibe
Mm-hmm.
with the high school, middle school, elementary. It's more
Right.
campus looking. It's not prison looking, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Nice playground, tennis courts. Though
Oh,
we
you
don't
got
have a tennis
tennis
program
courts.
anymore, but we got tennis courts, got basketball courts.
Uh-huh. No, the new one, the New River facility looks like a prison. When you're driving down across the interstate, if you ever come visit me, I do not live near a prison. I live near a school. It looks
They
like
should
a
just slap
prison.
the name Penn West on it.
Uh-huh.
Just call it Penn West.
Well,
Complete the
they should
look.
call it just Southern West Virginia and be done with it.
What's the matter, Bubba?
He wants to talk.
He does. He's like, get off of there. It's time to feed me.
Yep. Dinner time. Where is my
Yeah.
frisbee? So, there's that. And I don't know. I look at this generation and I'm looking at the generation of psychics too coming up because, I keep an eye on the younger ones and all that. And I'm just like, you're going to have so much trouble over things that don't matter. The look, the feel, the appearance, the this, the that, that's now a thing. And I'm like, what the fuck? Go draw
Yeah.
your tarot card and stop whining.
Yeah. There's no look to it. Like,
There
you know,
is. There
I
is.
just
There is an Instagram image psychic out there. but that has nothing to do with the reading. But you think about it. Think about it when we came up, when it was just a telephone. You got a telephone with a line, you got a number, and you got a manager, and that handled it all. Now you got to have an Instagram, a Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, this, a that, another. 20 years in the future, it'll be like they've got to have everything in, VR goggles of the tarot.
Well, here it is about me in a nutshell, listeners, viewers. I'm old. This is my birthday month. I'm going to be 50. I'm halfway to 100. I do technology the best I can. I've been doing this thing since I was. What's that?
You made a good business choice, and this is one I am still learning. She didn't know technology. She doesn't do technology. She hired someone that knows technology.
But I do what I do. I do my thing. I don't need,
Yeah, but you do kick ass on social media. You know your stuff better than most people on social media.
I try.
Yeah, you do well. You do well. You do well. I see those imprint numbers. I see that reach you got.
Yeah. But it's not. I'm just being me, and I just, I'm not flashy and showboating. I'm just being me, and it's just about helping people and helping animals, and it's just all about putting out good and bringing in good, and that's what I want to do. That's what
Right.
It's just all about good karma and give and take, and I just try to keep things positive, and I'm just here to help.
Right. And that's, we do a lot of helping and a lot of building and a lot of growing and a lot of immersion. But I do like that a lot of people are starting to work together and get a little bit more functional as readers, as clients, being able to go up. I don't, normally I do not, I'll say I am a medium over the phone. I am not a I am a large over the phone. I am not a medium. Call this one. I don't work in that area. Call this one. I don't deal with this. Call this one. That is a new thing because I'm sorry, the sacred energy has always been a shark mentality. What's your view on that one? Yeah, because we got a motley crew going on at the moment.
I don't know. I'm not a competitive person. I never was. I never will be. It's not in my nature.
Right.
Like I said a minute ago, I am who I am, and I'm
right.
Just do my thing. I'm not out to it's not a pissing contest.
Right.
Every reader has a different style, just
different flavor.
Right. Like I said, there's different varieties of things when you go to the store, just like there are psychics and readers. And, it's up to you as the sitter or the client to, decide who you jive with, Right. It's all good.
It is. So how was your experience at we talked about you going up to the Mecca. How did you see them interacting?
Where'd I go?
You went up north, up to Camp Chesterfield.
No. Lilydale.
Lilydale,
yeah.
Yeah. How did you see that interaction there? Because I always thought that it was interesting how they all work together. The guy got a 5 o'clock, but Louisa always has a 5 o'clock. Go over see her.
Yeah, they do. It's that. I tell you what, I don't even know how to explain that. When I went there and I spent that weekend and just went and did the I can't think what they're called, their healing temple, where they just people sit in a crowd and they'd call out and do readings, for whatever spirit come through, and just watching them and just walking the ground and feeling it. I just I just got to recenter on everything and just really made me think like, why do I do this? What is it? Just really gets you into your purpose,
It does. And
you
see, I
know.
think a lot of people get stuck in that is trying to understand their purpose and understand that sometimes their purpose isn't what they do for, isn't their main hustle, it's their secondary and their third hustle,
Yeah.
or their fifth hustle. And, it's really interesting how some things take off and some things do well. So,
And
what's hitting your news feed?
I have no idea. I've been just, doing my side hustle, doing my main hustle, and I really don't know what's happening in the world right now. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, there's a few things going on in the world right now,
Well, fill me in.
Well, the FBI had to go to Mar-a-Lago to recollect United States government property from the Oompa Loompa at his chocolate factory.
Yeah, I heard bits and pieces about that. I just tend to tune him out. Like,
Well, I know, but at the same time, it's just hilarious watching some of the crap go down and then read the legal briefs and go, oh, that's what really happens.
yeah, I'm just like, it's just
Right. And Sarah Palin lost at in our give me a word to say it, Alaska. They will have their first Native Alaskan Democratic representative going to the House. So again, Sarah Palin wasn't a good choice. Thank you, Alaskans, for making a vote, stopping the red wave, but also making a sane choice for your representative.
I think that's a positive move for Alaska.
I think it's a great move for Alaska. We have seen what Sarah Palin done as a governor. She did not have the qualifications to be a governor or a vice president. And some of her ideas are just goofy. Like, I can take political stuff, but really and truly, there isn't an idea there.
She always was kind of a loose cannon, though, was she not?
Right.
Way back in the day.
She is still a loose cannon, but she goofy. Honey, there are people in this world, and thank God she's got the money for it, that you wonder how they get dressed in the morning. Much less what to represent a state in the House of Representatives or even be a governor. And it's like, did you fail history? Did you fail economics? Did you fail the idea of foreign affairs? Taking your gun out and trying to shoot across the ocean at a foreign power is not a good idea, Governor.
I always thought like rich people, obviously I have no clue. But like I always thought rich people, like especially like in public positions, I always thought they had PR people to help them out. Like, hey, no, that's dumb if you don't say that. Like, don't they have those?
Well, or
they just don't listen to them.
They don't listen to them, honey. It's like if I tell you do not post the pic from the girls' night at the beach onto your social media that has you looking half janky with puke on your face, you can still go ahead and do it.
Right. But I mean, I'm thinking if I'm paying you, to keep me from not looking like a dumbass, I should listen.
Yeah, you should look very nice. But it's like, no, they don't listen to them. It's kind of like if your lawyer looks at you and says, you need to pay your taxes. You pay your taxes.
Right. I just always, with all those public people, and especially in government, all the time, I'm just looking and I'm like, where is your PR person?
Yeah.
Like, hire a PR person. Where are they? Like, why are they letting you talk?
We pay you enough. Have one. Get a PR person. But speaking of PR people, I know you're not on Twitter.
No.
But I know you saw me post some of the things into the group about the White House's Twitter clapping back. Like, it's as good as Wendy's.
As good as Wendy's.
It is. I love a good clap back on Twitter.
They are good. My daughter, she'll send me them too when she finds a good one. She'll
Uh-huh.
screenshot it and send it to me. And yeah, there's some good ones.
Right. But no, they've been clapping back, especially at people getting mad at forgiving student loans. Now, did you already have yours paid off, or were you still paying on yours?
My personal or my daughter's?
Your personal.
I'm good. I'm paid off.
Mm-hmm.
But my daughter, without getting into her financial business, like will
Mm-hmm.
benefit from that.
Good.
So
I
I
think
may,
you should.
yeah, so I may sound biased when I say that I'm for it, but honestly, but from the bottom of my heart, if it wasn't benefiting me or my daughter, I would still be for it.
Well,
It's pissing me off, these people going like, oh, well, I paid my college off. Well, that was like 1975, asshole. And, I could pay your
exactly.
college off, with one of my paychecks. Like,
Exactly. Well, this is what gets me. There are countries that are smaller than us with more population that you don't pay nothing to go to college. It's expected for you to go to college automatically. Okay? Germany, who had to restart their government last century in 1942, you get free college. I had to explain to someone, I think it was last night, one of their coworkers is pregnant, so they took an extra shift. Went in, worked. It was really nice of them. It's like, no, I'll go into work so she doesn't have to work.
come on, Jenny.
And I had to explain to them in Germany she wouldn't be working because she's at 7 months. She would already be off on maternity leave until the child is 2.5, and she'd get 1.5 times the amount of money that she is making in her paycheck. And they were just flabbergasted, like, what? I'm like, yeah, it's part of the tax system there. Automatically, she gets it off. And, they're trying to go to college, get all this, and there's all these loans and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, in Germany, you wouldn't pay for the first 2 years of college.
And what's wrong with that? Like, I don't know. I don't know why people
And they
got to
pay
get,
less taxes than us.
yeah, if it's not like, if it's not benefiting them, I guess they're mad. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's wrong with anybody getting any kind of break at any time? So it's not your turn right now for a break, but maybe in time something will come around that, something's going to come up to help you, like.
But I debate if it's even a break. What about just common human sense? A 7-month pregnant woman does not need to be on her feet in a restaurant, bussing tables and fixing your burger. Send her home to go nestle with the rest of them.
Well, this just happened to my oldest daughter. My
Uh-huh.
grandbaby's now 7 months old, but when my
Mm-hmm.
oldest daughter was pregnant with her,
Right.
she had a lot of issues. Her feet, her blood pressure was fine and everything. They really don't know what was going on, but her feet were swelling so bad, not to
Mm-hmm.
get gross or graphic, but her skin, like they were literally blowing apart.
Mm-hmm.
She couldn't be on
Yeah.
her feet anymore. So for
Right.
3 weeks prior to giving birth, she had to
You
be off
think?
and on bed rest. That cut into her time off to be home with her baby.
Okay, let me just be clear. This doesn't need to be going on in my thing, okay? This is a show for readers. Go get your own damn show. But anyway, I had to be off for her baby.
Yeah, like so 3 weeks prior to giving birth, she had to be off. That cut into her total
Mm-hmm.
time off.
Right.
Like that's bullshit.
Right.
So she had a whole how much time she get? I think 9 weeks. She only had 6 weeks home with the baby.
Mm-hmm.
and she had to go back
Right.
because she couldn't afford to take any time off without pay.
Right.
Do you think a woman's really healed enough in 6 weeks
Right.
to go back to work to a job where she's on her feet
No.
and
No.
working steady midnight shift?
No. Again, no.
Thank you.
That time is supposed to be for the child and the mother to bond. You guys wonder why we have half problems out of our children? It's because our mothers have to go back to work so damn early.
What country is it? I don't want to spit one out because I want to say Canada, but don't quote me.
Okay.
Maternity leaves a whole year.
Give me a second.
It exists, but I don't know
Right.
who. I want to say Canada, but I'm not 100%, so I don't want to. But I know someone has maternity leave as a whole year, and I believe it is paid.
Yeah. Germany has up to 3 years paid. And granted, it's step down paid. They get a year, the first 6 months of pregnancy and the first year of birth, it's a time and a half, and then it goes down from there. Canada's maternity leave is 15 weeks. A further 35 weeks for parental benefits available for biological and adopted. So they get almost a full year.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure our country is the worst for maternity leave.
UK can take up to 52 weeks of maternity leave and 90% of their average weekly pay for 33 of those weeks, and then it steps down from there. So at least 6 months at full benefit, and then you step down from there.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'd take that over 6 weeks.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. That's again, common fucking decency is where I'm at. Where is America's common fucking decency? Where's the care for the people is where I'm at with it. I don't
exactly.
Know.
That's what it boils down to. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, this is where your psychic's at with shit. It's like, what the hell? What the hell, America? You're getting upset because someone's getting $20,000 off their student loan. I'm more upset they had to pay $20,000 for a degree that they may or may not be able to get a job for in this country.
And guess what? That $20,000 off her loan still doesn't get her off free and clear.
No.
She's still going to be paying. Believe me, it's no appreciated. Yes, don't get me wrong, but it's not making her free and clear.
Right.
She is still going to have debt when she graduates.
My degrees, I got older degrees. You got to understand, I went through an older degree system. Schooling was cheaper then. All my masters, you can count those at $20,000 a piece. I've got 4. Okay. I've got a nursing degree that is useless to me, still paying on its loans. Okay. When you read job descriptions today, I was looking at taking a corporate job just because I'm bored. And a corporate job would be fun. Social media manager, flex schedule. I like a flex schedule. I like to work from home. I like my benefits. 10 years experience. That means that social media manager had to be around managing social media during MySpace days.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the time frame on that, and I'm like,
what?
Yeah,
what
good luck. Good luck.
Techie Joe, we all love Techie Joe on this network. Even if he is given a full forgiveness of the 23,000, we are still going to be in debt enough that from that student loan enough, not counting what we've already paid on it, to be $30,000. That is more than I paid for my house and the 2 cars we currently own. What? These poor kids coming up today, and I know you've been reading it. I know you've been watching it. The tuition increases with your daughter being in school. What's she going to be at $100,000 when she graduates?
Look, I don't even add it up.
Yeah.
I don't. But why? Because so she's a senior this year. She's in her senior year at WVU, but she's
Mm-hmm.
not done. She did her 4 years of college. But guess what, boys and girls? 4 years of college ain't shit now.
No, she's going to have to go for at least a.
She'll be going on to PT school. She's going for her doctorate in physical therapy.
Right.
So that's 2.5 more years on top of this 4.
Mm-hmm.
Because this 4-year degree ain't shit.
Right. Yeah, 4 years degree ain't nothing. Okay. And for the record, I paid $1,750 for my 3-bedroom home. The current car I'm driving, I've paid $7,500 for. The other car we paid $17,000 for. Yeah, we will still owe more than it costs for the home we own.
Oh, I know hers will owe, she'll owe more than
Mm-hmm.
our home and vehicles. Like I said, I don't even add it up. It's just,
Yeah,
wow.
right.
Yeah, of course, she don't have to pay anything now because she's still in school.
Right.
But, it's like, well,
Right, but I'm going to recommend what I recommend to every student. If you work a summer job, if grandma gives you $100 on Christmas, send half of it in on your loan, because then when you graduate, they look and accredit that to the principal, not the interest. We were writing $500 checks to Joe's student loan program. 3/4 of that is interest. We've barely began touching his principal. Now you want to talk about, we had the housing bubble in 2008, and we got to looking at these house loans, and it's like these people shouldn't have been able to afford that. Yeah, Joe was actually very sensible when he took out his student loans. He took out no more than what he should have made his first year of being in a full, what they were telling him he would make his first year of employment with that degree. He was supposed to come out making $70,000 a year. Yeah, then the .com bubble, then the recession. He came out making 1/3 of that. So don't be, piping up, oh, but you're going to make $125,000 a year. No, you're not. No, you're not. That data's old. That data's wrong.
that type of data changes with the wind. I mean,
With the wind.
you can't go off of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the Fed's going to raise interest rates. Yeah, that's expected. We're still not even in the 80s. We are not even at the inflation level of the 80s. We're at 1.5. The 80s was close to 23.
If honestly, not that it's ever going to happen, but if they'd really want to help out these kids and student loan debt and student loans, get rid of the interest.
Yeah.
Just get rid of the interest.
Yeah. Cut off the interest.
Yeah. That would be a blessing. I mean, just do that. Can we, how
can we get rid of it? Yeah, can we do a 0 interest rate loan? It's not that hard to do. It's not giving them a handout. Think about it this way. For those that are getting up in age, i.e. myself included, the students that we are financing now will be paying your Social Security check.
Yeah, now, so quit bitching about that break you're getting.
Exactly. Okay? This is because Social Security is a Ponzi scheme. It has been a Ponzi scheme since the Republicans tapped into it in 84. The money, the ones of us that are paying Social Security right now, that money is going out to the boomers, and it's paying for the Social Security for everyone on Social Security.
We ever going to see it?
Oh, I think we'll see it. I think it'll be like the teacher's pension. It's
Yeah.
enough to pay the power bill. It ain't enough to live on.
Right.
Okay.
Right. That's what I always try to tell my parents that, like, your Social Security isn't going to be my Social Security.
Mm-mm. I think I saw an email earlier that my Social Security, now I've been on the record working since 19, well, I ain't going to tell the year because that gives me away, but let's say I went in and started paying Social Security when I was 14, and my monthly check will not even cover the car payment.
I forget mine. I can't remember the exact number. I got one of those in the mail not too long ago. It was
Mhm.
depressing.
It was.
It was depressing. I can't remember the number because it was like that depressing. Like I don't even want to remember that. And I tucked it away somewhere. But yeah, it was
Mhm.
depressing.
Yeah. All right. So, one more piece of old man information, because I ain't calling this financial advice. For those working out there, as soon as you get your paycheck, take 11.7% and stick it in a savings account. Standard savings account, deep freeze, refrigerator, first community of banker, whatever. 11.1.7%. Stick it there. It's more safer than paying into your Social Security. It's only like $30 to $60 a month. But if you average that up for over the life of your employment, you will have a better retirement plan than Social Security that you can tap into when you're 50 and need to replace the kitchen sink, or you have your down payment for your home, because that should be your next step, is to buy a home at real prices. Right now is not real prices. My house is not worth $125,000. I know how much I paid for it. Wait till the
Same.
real prices happen.
But another thing too, like I see people paying more in rent than I pay for my house payment.
Agreed. Agreed. We were looking at rental prices, and it's insane.
So
It is insane.
I am glad I got my home when I did.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, like I said, I friends and people, coworkers that I know what they're paying in rent now, and I sit back and I'm like, yikes! Like
Yeah.
that's more than my house payment, and we pay extra on our house payment
Hmm.
to go
Well,
on the
we own
premium.
ours outright. I wrote a check for mine. Done. Over with. It's done. Couple times done. But looking at it, the amount of money you pay for rent is insane, guys. Think of it this way. Oh, Shannon says she saw someone advertising a room for rent for $750 a month.
A room?
A room. You can get a hotel room for like $225 for every 2 weeks, and you get housekeeping.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Might even get a continental breakfast too.
exactly. Okay. $750 a month rent is insane. Okay. You can get property for like $13,000. You can go and take that deed and finance it for a double wide or a modular home and let the deed stand good for it, and your house payment will probably be $300 to $400 a month. And in 20 years, keynote there, when you negotiate your mortgage, negotiate what you can pay 2 payments at a time for one. So if you're paying $750 a month in rent, you technically can make 2 house payments on a mortgage that is less than that. Okay. But it all starts in that when they're in college.
Definitely.
$375 a month. I My old mortgage was $158 a month. I could have
I
made 4 house
paid
payments.
I paid 470. My rent was 475. That was over 10 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And that wasn't bad then. I don't think you could find a place for 475 now, not in my area anyway.
Not anywhere
But
that I've seen. Not
yeah, but
anywhere.
I I did
Yeah.
that just before, temporary till I found my house. And
Mhm. Yeah. But no, college age students, this is my advice. Save every penny you got, put it in two different accounts. One is for your home. That's your gold star. You want a home. The other is to pay for your student loan, and pay on that student loan as soon as you can. Don't be taking out student loans to go on vacation. Don't be taking out student loans to buy a car. Don't be taking out student loans thinking it's free money. You have to pay it back. The other part of that is to
that's
get a
what
credit card. Get a
I
credit
think a
card
lot of kids don't understand that. And I don't know why their parents don't tell them that.
because they don't
Like,
know. We don't teach financial literacy anymore.
when you take, yeah, you don't, like you said, you don't take out extra on your loans to go buy cars and
Hmm.
go on vacation. And, you
Hmm.
know,
Now,
because
the
my
other
daughter's
part
even
is controversial, but this is my advice. Get a credit card as soon as you're able to. And you pay that card off every month.
well,
Because
right,
why?
to establish credit.
Yes, to establish credit. Not only
Don't
that, because
max it out.
don't max it out. If you only get a stipend of $250 a month, you can only charge $125 a month on that credit card. And you use that to build your credit. And right now, I promise you right now, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express are all showing up at campus day, at family visit day, at student education day, begging to give you a credit card.
And they don't care if you max it out.
Now,
They want you to max it out.
yes, don't use
Yeah,
it
do
like a
not.
checking account. Use it like a checking account and build your credit up so the day you graduate from college, you have a credit score that you can go on and do anything you want, including get a job. Do you know that you cannot be hired for some jobs if your credit score is too low?
Yes, there are places that will do credit checks.
Hmm. They want to see your
But
financial responsibility.
right, because that's what they look at. I think when they look at it and be like, Susie Q here got 5 credit cards maxed out and she's only paying the minimum. Well, I don't know how responsible she would be for this accountant position,
Exactly.
right? Like,
Right.
she's kind of a hot ass mess with money and numbers. I don't think we want to hire her.
Exactly. But the weirdest jobs require credit scores now. The weirdest jobs.
Hmm.
Manager of a restaurant. What's your credit score? We had a restaurant that didn't even open because they couldn't hire management staff because nobody had a good credit score to run the management positions. That's insane to me. Not only that, but students are already paying higher auto insurance. Your auto insurance is based off your credit score. Not how good of a driver you are, how good your credit.
Why don't they teach us stuff in high school?
I don't know.
I mean,
Because
they
they don't
never
want
did.
us
They didn't
illiterate.
for us. We had to just,
I learned it the
along and
hard
find
way.
out, for lack of a better term.
I learned it the hard way. My father, my gods, he knew how to do high finance on a beer budget in any times. Okay. But I learned it the hard way. And, telling people, get a credit card, pay it off. Get a credit card, pay it off. Get a credit card, pay it off. It sounds stupid. Why would if they're giving me free money? No, pay it off and build that credit card up to where if you have to, that 6 months in between college and your first loan payment, you can live off of until you get a job. And then you know, build that stuff up to use it to have those resources and those assets.
Very smart. Absolutely right.
Absolutely right. Mike says that in his town where he's from, the average rent is $500 a month for an apartment without utilities and $650 for utilities. When my first house, my first job, my first house, everything included was $384 a month. That was utilities and mortgage.
Look how
That
much stuff's going up.
That's how much stuff has gone up in 26 years. 26 years. 26 years, guys. Think about our children and how much it's going to be up for them. Well, we've been on here for an hour and a half, honey. Now, I know I only booked you for an hour.
Oh,
I'm sorry to
wow,
be
I didn't
keeping
even
you late.
That's okay. It was good. I didn't even realize we were on that long.
I
That's a
know.
good thing.
Well, all right, guys. Thank you for tuning in with Coffee and Tea. Just a programming note, Mountain Beers will be on Saturday night this week at 8 p.m. We will be enjoying it. You can always go check out tracyvann.com for her special 15-minute readings for 20 bucks. And what's the code?
Birthday.
Birthday is the code. Make sure you enter that out in your checkout. And as always, have a great evening. Be safe. Keep the coffee strong. And make good decisions. Now let's talk about our Patreons for a moment. We want to thank our Patreons. Thank you, Beverly Walker, Mika G, Kathy, Mary Winfield, Brenda Bryant, Ashley Glass, Shannon C, Shannon D, Lady Gwendolyn, Charles Shaw, Dottie the Psychic, Tracy Vann. Thank you for being a corporate sponsor. Dottie Witt, and the Laughing Tree Grove. If you'd like to become a Patreon, take full advantage of those benefits, please visit pcsbnetwork.com. Good night, y'all.
Good night.